Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Peace Jones. Don't forget to like this video, to comment on this video, and to subscribe to my channel, okay? So this morning we are gonna start off with a little wellness retreat, okay? So we have a, what is this called? I forgot. The egg bites. These are the Trader Joe's version. We also got some vanilla almond spice chai little smoothie. It's like a protein smoothie. I have some water with some chlorophyll. I have some hot tea. This is black seed tea. And I have some calcium, magnesium, and zinc. Okay, so let's take our zinc first. I didn't even realize this had zinc in it. I knew it had magnesium because magnesium calms you, but it has zinc too. So I'm getting all of my vitamins. I'm going to get my friend one of these because I found this little health store and he asked me for like a few things and he said he wanted zinc, he wanted magnesium. Whole time, here we have it in one pill. So I'm just going to get him this. But anywho, let's chat. This is my little life update, okay? So the last time you guys saw me here in video form, I believe was like the two videos that I made, Christmas and Thanksgiving, taking care of my grandmother. If it wasn't that, it was the travel video to Belize. And if it wasn't that, it was some other like haul or something that I did. But either way, I know I haven't been here in a while and I wanted to give you guys an update on how things are going, how I am dealing with grief, what's been going on, have I been traveling, you know, the whole 9 yards, right? So let's start off with the grief portion. So you guys know that my grandmother did pass away early March. And if you've been here, you know, like she raised me. I was her primary caregiver. So she's really like a mother to me as opposed to a grandmother, right? That was the only family I had and only family that I knew. So obviously it took a huge toll on me. I will say as far as grief, I think that I'm doing well. However, I do definitely feel the impact of her loss, you know? So I will say, I think the reason why I am doing as well as I am is because I can attribute that to being a very stable person, okay? I did not realize that until I started like dealing with what I dealt with while caregiving for her. And then also like dealing with grief after she left, because I think like now I can understand why people become drug addicts. I don't know if I could say that on here, but I can see why people become addicts. I can see why people decide to use alcohol or other vices to help them cope. And I can definitely see how people lose it up here, okay? The things I dealt with taking care of her, insane. Like I said, one day maybe I'll tell it all on here. One day maybe I'll write a book. I don't know, but it's a lot to say, a lot to unravel. And as you can imagine, it was a lot to process. And the only thing that I can say that really helped me get through that was obviously God, number one, and then a sound, stable mind, bruh. Like, of course, the support of my friends and neighbors and everything like that, but like your mind has to be solid in order to navigate certain things. And I think that that has helped me navigate grief a lot because I really do have a stable mind, and I thank God for that, because I know like a lot of people deal with, you know, addiction just normally in life, right? Aside from losing a loved one. I know a lot of people deal with like mood disorders, mental health issues, depression, all types of things that can really just amplify grief, you know? And I'm just so blessed to have such stability in my mind and in my like spirit that as heavy as this was, it didn't take me out. You know what I mean? I feel like if I was already dealing with things and this, oh my gosh, like I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't as stable minded as I am. And so I really, really, really thank God for that. I think because of that stability, I was also able to kind of like put myself in places, take myself out of places, decide how I want to navigate certain things, set up boundaries for myself, set up rules for myself, and like kind of like coach myself or like parent myself as to how I wanted things to go in this grief journey, right? So for starters, I needed a goddamn break, okay? I literally was so depleted mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And can we really touch on the physical part, y'all? I was getting no sleep, okay? I was averaging 3 hours of sleep a night. Sometimes it was less than that. This is 7 days a week, back to back to back to back, week after week after week, month after month after month. Do you understand that that is not healthy? I'm talking about for 6 months, I barely got sleep. I was getting like 10 hours of sleep a week, not a night, a week, while caring for 2 people, myself and an ailing sick person, while managing 2 households, 2 sets of finances, while still working. Y'all, I don't know how I did it, okay? It also took a toll on my diet, okay? Because any second that I got to like free time, I slept. Like, leave me alone. Don't knock on the door. I can't do anything. I can't think. Like, I literally got to the point I couldn't think straight. I almost was hallucinating. That's how sleep deprived I was. Like, it was so many times, so many conversations, I just knew I wasn't making sense because my brain literally was like running on E. So with that being said, I literally had to sleep when I could. Forget eating. I was eating if someone brought me food. Like, it literally got to the point I was not eating until somebody came to the door and brought me food, which thank God the neighbors did. And it was so amazing, y'all. I always saw people say like, oh, we're starting a meal train because this and that is going on. But like, you never realize how much, hold on one second, y'all. I think I gotta do that. You never realize how much a meal train is necessary and vital and amazing until you need that meal train, okay? Because having people bring you a hot meal when you can't cook and you can't even think about cooking and you can't even think about grocery shopping, you don't even know what you want to eat. People are like, oh, let me take an order. No. Get the food. I'm not allergic to nothing. I'm not a picky eater. Bring me food, okay? That's the point that I was at. Like, you don't got to take an order. I don't need no special sauce. Give me food. Like, whatever is going to nourish my body. So that helped a lot. But yeah, it just threw my diet off a lot because, as you can imagine, I wasn't eating 3 meals a day. I couldn't. You know, sometimes I was eating my first meal at 7 o'clock, scarfing that down. Sometimes I would eat super early in the morning and then not again till whenever. So basically, my diet is still a little bit off. I'm trying to get back to my 3 meals a day. Then I got to a point where, like, I don't know whether it was the stress or like the grief, but I wouldn't eat until dinner time. So like my first meal, even after she passed, I would literally not eat until like 5 p.m. I would feel myself being very hungry. I would have like the appetite to eat, but for some reason I couldn't bring my body to actually consume the food until late in the evening. And then by that time, it was like my stomach was cramping, my stomach was hurting. And I was this is TMI, but I was very like constipated for quite some time because my body was not getting any nutrients, you know, like if I'm eating at 5 p.m. every day and then I'm barely eating anything, like there's nothing to flow and keep the, you know, body operating and lubricated and stuff like that. Then it got to the point I wasn't drinking enough water. So then I was feeling very dehydrated. It just really took a toll on my body. My hair was like super damaged. Prior to this, I had gotten my hair on this really great flow. My stylist was giving me trims every 4 to 6 weeks. My hair was so curly, so thick, so healthy, shiny, moisturized, all the things. I looked at my hair one day because, mind you, in those 6 months, I could not get my hair done. Didn't have the time. Like I said, if I had any moment of free time, it was to sleep. I couldn't go sit at an appointment for 2 hours. I didn't have 2 hours to do that. I had to watch my grandmother, So, yeah, my hair was neglected for 6 months straight. And as you can imagine, it took a toll on my hair. I did trim it a little bit myself, but I'm not a professional stylist, so God only knows what that looks like. And then after that, the cortisol from the stress apparently had a profound effect on my hair. It was very dull, very dry, broken off, just terrible. So I'm working on getting that back on track. I'm just working on my overall health, but I'm really putting emphasis on my physical health because it was brutal. It was brutal, it really had an impact on me. I have gotten into grief therapy. I had my first session like 2 weeks ago. I wasn't really impressed. I feel like after the therapist did like the initial meeting where basically, if you guys don't know, when you meet with a new therapist, they ask you like your background, your childhood, your current life, whatever, and then they ask you like what you plan on gaining from this therapy session and like this experience and what you want to work on, whatever. So I told her all of that, and she came back and was basically like, well, it sounds like you're doing great, and you seem to be very self-aware. It's amazing that you already went to therapy before. Seems like you got your head on your shoulders, you're very strong, independent, blah blah blah. And basically it seemed like she was kind of like, you're fine, like, here's some pamphlets on grief. You got to take it one day at a time. Don't rush yourself. Give yourself grace. Know that grief isn't linear. And basically, that was it, And so she asked me again, like, what I planned on getting out of the sessions. And I'm like, I am here for a reason, Yes, I think I'm doing well enough. Yes, I am able to still get up in the morning, put on my clothes, take a shower, do my hair, go to work. But these are all things that I have to do also, right? Now, I'm not having a hard time doing them, thank God, but I also have to do them. Like, who else is going to do it? Things don't stop just because someone passes away. Unfortunately, I have a lot of responsibility of my own and other things that I'm still handling. So I have to get up and go to work and take a shower and do all of the things. And what else was I gonna say? I forgot. I was gonna make another point, but yeah, basically I didn't really love that first session. I have another session coming up, so we'll see how that goes. If I don't really get what I'm looking for out of that session, then I'm just going to switch off to another therapist. But outside of that, I have been spending a lot of time in nature. I've been going to the park probably like 3-4 times a week. I take my walk. Sometimes I just lay out in the grass. I do a lot of sun gazing, laying in the sun, soaking up that vitamin D, a lot of grounding, just twiddling my toes, having them in the grass, walking on the pavement, just relaxing, not having too many plans and too many scheduled things, because sometimes that can give me anxiety as well. I am a very busy person and I love living like that, but right now I think that I need more quiet time and just like unscheduled events. I'm also kind of drawing back from like the real rah-rah social scene. So like I was very into like brunches on the weekends, day parties, being out and about, concerts, little festivals, stuff like that. But now I am not huge on being around a lot of people and a lot of noise. So I'm kind of like opting for more quiet spaces. So still going out and about, but just not the areas that are like super, super lit. Like certain areas that I used to frequent, certain restaurants I used to frequent, I'm not really engaged right now because I know how like loud and boisterous and chaotic they can be, right? So haven't been to a brunch since she passed. No day party, no real rah-rah type of stuff. I am, however, inviting my friends to do more intimate, quiet, nature vibe type of things. So I did plan a hike with my friends. And then I'm going kayaking with another friend. I did yoga recently, and me and my friend are going to go back and do that again. Down to take a walk with friends, little lunch dates, nice scenic places outside, just chill stuff, nothing like too crazy. And that brings me a lot of peace. Also, just continuing to have intimate time and moments with my friends brings me a lot of peace and joy, because in this experience, they have really, really shown up for me and really just been amazing friends. And so I've always loved intimate time with my friends, but now even more than ever, because now I kind of feel like they're more like family, like brothers and sisters. That's how I started to look at a lot of my friends after this happened, is like brothers and sisters or cousins, So those intimate moments feel more intimate because I did grow a lot closer to some of my friends. So it's like, oh, I'm going out for a sister date. I'm going out for a brother cousin date, So I've been really enjoying that. Just trying to do different things, little fun things, things that are out of the ordinary, but still enjoyable, So yeah, that's been my happy place. I have been trying to get my house back in order because I was spending a lot of time at her house and taking care of her house and cleaning her house and laundry at her house and fixing her house. But now I'm back to my stuff and I'm trying to like catch up on just cleaning up, going through things, organizing, throwing stuff out, doing little projects around my house, tidying up, laundry, just everything, just trying to like tap back into my world. That's what I've been doing. I do have bad days, y'all. I do want to make that clear. It's not all bubbles and sunshine. And on my bad days, they are pretty bad. And I do tend to feel very, very low. But I try to like pull myself out of it immediately, because I feel like, and I've actually heard people say this, like, if you feel that grief is starting to consume you, you have to snap out of it. You have to do something to draw yourself to another space, because if you allow it to consume you, it will consume you. And I think that's similar to like depression. Now, I have never experienced depression, but from what I've heard from people, it's like if you allow yourself to fall too deep into it, it's really hard to get out, right? So it's the same with grief. That kind of scares me. I try not to let myself like get consumed by it and the thoughts and the weight and the heaviness, because it's very heavy. It literally sits on you like a ton of bricks. And I don't want it to get too heavy on me to the point that I am consumed by it, because that can happen so easily, especially with me not having like family around to bring me out of it or tap into it with me. So when I feel really heavy like that, I do try to like bring my mind to a happier space, go take a nice shower, put on some clothes, do something with my hair, and just step outside, even if it's like going to Wawa to get a drink and then going to walk around the mall. If it's going outside to lay in the grass, if it is going to a friend's house and just chilling with them. Like I try to do something to get out of the house just to like put my mind in a different space. And it's not really running away from it. It's just trying not to sit in it. I personally don't feel comfortable sitting in it. Everyone grieves differently, but for me, I feel like if I sit in it and I just have a day of grief or sadness, that day can turn into another day, and then those thoughts can turn into even worse thoughts, and I just don't feel comfortable sitting in it. So I try to like, reroute things. I do have way more good days than bad days, but like I said, my bad days can be really sad. Unfortunately, my birthday, I was very sad, which kind of was crazy to me because I thought it would be more so events surrounding her that would make me the saddest, like her birthday, Mother's Day, stuff like that. But it was my birthday that I was like super sad. I did travel for my birthday. I'm going to insert a little clip of that at the end. But my birthday, the night going into it, I cried. The day of my birthday, I cried for like hours and hours. And it was like, it wasn't even like, it was just like tears and tears and tears, just like heavy streams of tears. And I just felt like so just alone and like, it was just so sad. But I ended up like getting myself together. But yeah, I had some back-to-back events as well that kind of had me in a little whirlwind. Thank God we got some time now that we are clear of reminders. That doesn't mean that like everything's going to be perfect and I'm not going to have sad days, but she passed away the beginning of March. My birthday was the beginning of April. Her birthday was the beginning of May. And then Mother's Day was the week after her birthday. So it was like back to back to back to back. Hopefully I get a little break now. But I am going to see her grave site all the time, bringing her flowers, sitting and chatting with her. I talk to her all the time spiritually. She sends me a ton of signs. I don't know if you guys know, but cardinals and feathers, butterflies, things like that can be signs that your loved one is near. I saw a cardinal at her house the day before her birthday. Then I saw a cardinal at my house the day before her birthday. And then on her birthday, one of my friends, which this is a whole nother beautiful story, I'll tell you guys in another video, but my friend gave birth to her daughter on my grandmother's birthday. And it was so special because my friend is from New York. My grandmother was from New York, Brooklyn to be exact. This friend named her daughter Brooklyn. She was born on my grandmother's birthday. That's my baby. I call the baby Baby Granny. And I just believe all of these are signs to let me know that, like, you know, I'm still here. I'm still watching over you. I'm still close to you in spirit. So she's definitely watching and making sure I'm good. I also bought a flower, which was an amaryllis, which was her name, and it bloomed. It took forever to bloom, and then it finally bloomed on her birthday. So that was beautiful. It's just like, it's all is well, you know. We got to take it one day at a time, one step at a time, but I'm navigating, I'm getting through it. Definitely not all amazing moments, but I'm getting through it. So that's how I'm doing with the grief. I did say I was going to start up my weekend vlogs again. However, I actually am not doing anything super entertaining. So I don't know if y'all want to see the stuff that I'm doing. Maybe I will do that soon, but I felt like, you know, y'all wanted to see like more fun stuff. So we'll see about that. I do have some travel content from Hawaii, which is where I went for my birthday. However, I'm more so uploading it in shorts because I didn't take it in like the landscape view to actually make a travel vlog, but we'll see what I can do with that. I haven't been on my business page lately because, as you know, it takes a lot of time and creativity to edit and create. Also have to have the time to actually create the itineraries, which I didn't. I needed a break from everything, but I will be back to that soon. What else? I do plan on traveling this year, but right now these flight prices are insane, and actually the hotel prices are even more insane. So we're gonna have to figure that out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the updates that I have to give you guys. I'm still just getting myself together, healing myself, taking care of myself. That's huge. I've been taking care of people and her and pouring into people and her for so long. You know, this wasn't a new thing. She did get sick and go on hospice 6 months ago, but she had dementia since 2019, 2020, and I was, you know, caring for her, taking care of her, all of the things since then. So it's been about a 6-year journey where everything I did, every decision I made, my weekends, after work, after school, I would be taking care of her. Laundry, washing her up, groceries, buying them, putting them away, making sure she was eating. Every time I traveled, I had to prep her in the house. Every time I got back from traveling, I had to prep her in the house, like get her back together. So it's been a journey, and I've poured a lot of energy into her, which I have no problem with. That was like my baby. The roles reversed. I was her mother, so it's kind of like getting used to a whole new lifestyle that I haven't had in a long time. And so, yeah, I am thankful for the free time that I have now that I haven't had in years. But at the same time, it's like, bittersweet. Like, I know I would have been doing this with her. And I know that this would have been something I would have had to do before I could do this. And, even coming back from a trip, it's like kind of sad. Like, damn, I don't have to go see her because she's not here, and I don't have to go do this. It's just like, it's a whole different lifestyle, and you have to adjust to it. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, this summer is going to be dedicated to time in nature, wellness, taking care of me, getting active, because y'all, in your 30s, you got to keep these bones rolling, okay? I realize I am very tight. My hips are very tight. My muscles are very tight. So I just been trying to stretch it out, move it around, and take care of myself. But yeah, that's my update, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned for the Hawaii clips at the end. All right? See ya. Peace.